Welcome to another episode of Limitless Trading. To end the week, you've had a lot of success with some of the intel that we've been posting. If you like the content, please subscribe, like, comment below. We do have a Discord. You can purchase just the individual ticker if you're interested in. But we want to share today some of the secret sauce that we're doing with the AI triggers, what the actual levels look like behind the scenes, not just the general target of every single trigger. The AI is doing fantastic with giving us risk management, where the market makers are going, where the buying's coming in, and obviously we have to manage risk, and then we collaborate together. Some of my members are having some great success. We posted that for you with you yesterday. Some people do scalp, some people do swings, some of us do shares like myself when the VIX is very high. Some of them do some spreads to level off the risk when VIX is high. We have dark pools on a lot of tickers, and we don't just trade SPY. It is the most liquid, but we have AI triggers on risk management on basically every trigger that comes in, as long as we input in the dark pool that we receive every day. But let's take a look at it together.
Now, this is kind of one of the pieces of software. Well, it's all TradingView, but the indicator from the AI inputs in these levels. So these are the actual levels that the AI is putting in as key points from the dark pool, and then it assesses the volume, right? So we told you on the 15-minute, we had an upside trigger down in this area under 664. Once it came up to 664, 668 was our upside. And then what we do is we set daily triggers. As we move up, we just run stop losses, right? If, let's say, the trigger gets to 673 and then breaks down, then we look at the first trigger down, right? If this one breaks down, 670 and so on, our risk management, if our guys want to short, we know that we have a dark pool, not a dark pool, an AI trigger up here at 691 and a dark pool at 712, but nobody knows when that's going to hit. The AI gives us long range. It's saying that it's going to be by February because that tends to be the top, and then it tends to be a bearish month every year, whether it's COVID, whether it's DeepSeek. We suspect that we're going to see some AI chip dumping into Q1, which is going to be like a DeepSeek hit. But nonetheless, this is the actual triggers that we get. And then on another screen, I have all the dark pools in there because I put them all. Every single one is support and resistance, but our AI gives us the deeper ones. So up here we had the 677, the 680. Once we lost 680, we knew that we were coming down, right? So we shorted to 677. We ran stop losses to 673. We had a gap down. We knew the gap up was going to fill, right? Because I had said in previous video, gap ups fill faster than gap downs. There are about 16 or 17 gap downs that haven't filled since COVID. But the 664 came in and we still had an upside trigger. So what happens? This was a little shy from this is where we lifted off from our previous trigger. So as soon as we saw the failed breakdown come up, bam, we were long again, and the whole day was great. Our VIX indicator says that VIX is hitting resistance. Can it go up higher? Sure, but it's coming down, which is what we want, because we actually want a better short a little bit higher in the nosebleeds. But again, today we got a fantastic low on our put hedges. They paid off, and then we took longs all day. Some of my longs triggered stop losses here at the 673 failure, but we said if we hold the 671, the AI is still saying upside 691 up to 712. Can it change? Absolutely, it can change. But we're long ball up to about 683 on the 1 hour. And then again, the daily is still 691 and 712, but we take them as we come because they can flip, and that's what risk management is for. So when our trend line breaks out, we're just running stop losses, right? So if in fact, let's say 673 becomes resistance on Monday, then we short very, very tightly to 671 because the 15-minute is telling us that we're coming back to about 668. So we short small because the 1 hour and the daily are moving up, right? So we take each trigger. Some of them are scalpable, some of them are long. But what I'm looking for, maybe a back test of 671, 670. If that holds, I'm going long again to the 683 on the 1 hour. And this starts looking here like an inverse head and shoulder on the 15-minute, which matches the 1 hour. But I will tell you, the daily is looking like a head and shoulder. And somebody gave me Flow today in our group, which is great. I don't use Flow personally because it has too much bias, but the Flow had somebody trading 632 puts into December. Very possible with now the BLS report coming out on November 21st, which is next week OPEX. Interestingly enough, is CPI going to be 3%? Is the unemployment going to be 4.3? Is real wages going to stay about flat? That's what our AI is telling us. We can forecast this without the BLS. But again, the government data is what everybody kind of wants to rely on because there's no private sector data that has proven itself other than the AI that we're using that is phenomenal. But good luck to you guys. Hopefully this is giving you risk. You're getting some winning trades. But again, comment below or join our Discord, and we'd love to have you finish the year strong.